Live. Now the question is, where am I going to watch it? Am I going to watch it on here or am I going to watch it on YouTube? That's the thing. But with a bit of luck, we've got Green Dragon Games watching. Whee! But I haven't seen who else yet in the chat. So I've got to try and remember how to look into with YouTube. I know not. But greetings all.
Oh yeah.
I'm just picking up on my YouTubes to see how we're working. So bear with me.
We're so professional.
Yeah. Right. Okay. Well, that does show that it is working.
Okay.
Nigel Jones, good evening.
Evening.
Good evening. Good evening. And welcome to our What's in the Lead Pile, I named it. And somebody came back and said, I hope it's not going to include any plastics then. They did smile when they did it. So I'm hoping that's okay with people. That it will be featuring some plastic.
And some resin.
And some resin. I don't know. Right. Okay. I have got some painting that I'm doing tonight. There's our trusty painting movable site.
You know what? I don't know where my one's gone.
Oh, right. You lost it, have you? All right. John Lyne, good evening.
Mine's empty.
Oh, that's it. Yeah. And yeah. I did manage to get some spray painting done. Not spray, but some priming. So
right.
A start to the priming. 3 dead cowboys.
Okay.
Obviously for What a Cowboy when it comes up. So we got them going. And can you tell what they are?
I know what they are, so I'm not saying.
Yeah. If people can see them, whether it's focuses in on them.
No, you can see them.
8. There are 8 Confederate casualties, which is quite good for First Corps, which is good.
I've got a few bits on the painting table, but not really painting tonight. I've got them. Do you remember them? We bought them. Where is it? There we are.
Oh yeah, the mules. I've got 2 of them in a box.
Yeah, I've got 3 of them, so I've got them.
I was using speed paint on them, but it wasn't going particularly well.
I've got 3 of them to do.
Yeah.
I have a bear.
Oh right, yeah.
Okay. A moose.
Oh. A moose. Oh a yeah, a moose.
A moose. Moose.
Yeah. Good set of horns on that one.
An eagle. With catching a salmon in the river. And they are to go on the table when I'm playing the 1812 campaign, just as a bit of scenery, basically.
That's pretty good.
What else have I got? Oh, I'm in the middle of doing the ramshackle barn.
Yeah, another building.
Yeah, the barn from is it Renedra?
Yes. Is it Renedra or Perry?
So I've one of the 2.
Yeah. I can't remember which one it is.
Hang on a minute. I've got the house as well. It is Renedra Limited. I've got the house as well. Is up there to do.
If people are unaware of John, if they haven't met him before, John is from the store at Lost Ark Games in Stevenage, but he's also a very long time good friend of mine, going back decades and decades.
And we do a lot of projects together, don't we?
We certainly do, and I blame John for an awful lot.
Yeah.
But it's much the same, really, because I think I get my own back on him as well.
You do.
With different things that he has to paint up.
What else have I got? Yeah, well, it's a typical one. Teutonic Knights to go against your Templars.
Oh, yes. Yeah, the Teutonic Knights.
I've got a load of Teutonic Knights, all undercoated, ready to start.
See, I thought they were looking good, the ones that you did.
Yeah, I know. I just can't get into it. It's one of them moments where you start and you just think, I'm not enjoying painting this. What have you painted?
What have I painted?
I've got a few bits.
Over the week I haven't. I've got them packed away, sadly, because they're in the big box. Hang on a minute. I'll go get the big box.
I'm just getting my play. Oh. We'll resume shortly.
Well, for the moment, there's the big box.
There's the big box.
There's the big box. So,
well, I'll start with what I've done. I'll start with what I've done.
You keep it going.
So, got some 15mm. You can see that all right. Righteous. 3 of them there. Not come out very well, tiny little things. Got 6 of them I've done. That's for our
Wars of Religion.
Wars of Religion. That's it. That's for our Wars of Religion. I'm doing the Catholic, the French Catholic. So I've got some Assyrians done. Got some skirmish archers. I've got 8 of them made and done. And then I've got a load of slingers. These are all Essex miniatures. They all need to have the wash put on them. So I've got 12 of them done this week. And then I've painted another unit for my 1812 campaign that I'm doing. And that's these ones here. Let's try and if we can. Yeah, it's not zooming in very well.
No.
These are the Maryland Independent Blues militia unit. There's 12 of them painted. So that's what I've so far painted this week. And I've got 12 fences that I'm actually doing at the shop. I feel I'm doing. I've got them I'm doing as well.
Trying to work out how to do this. I had a game of Rebels and Patriots, and the units are in 12s. And when I came to put my units on the table, I realised I had painted them up for muskets and tomahawks, which were 10s. So I had a few troops that were lacking. So what we have painted up is we've painted up 2 Highlanders to take us up to 12 and 2 Rangers to take us up to 12. So that was a start on them to get them done. So they've been painted. I was trying to remember what colours I used again because I don't write them down.
I know.
And then hopefully they'll possibly focus in or not. Lancer Miniatures, the 18mm War of Spanish Succession, a couple of officers to go with the others.
Mm-hmm.
And that's my British and Allied contingent finished. Hurrah! Nice. I don't know when I'll ever get them on the table though. So whenever we're going to play a game with them.
Still waiting for a couple of people, aren't we? I know I pulled out.
Yeah, certainly doing that. And the other bits that we painted up, I have got this. This could be tricky. You'll have to tell me how it works, John. Let's see how it comes up.
Yeah, that's coming up all right. Can't quite see what they are, but you can see them.
Right. These ones are the settlers.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, bottom right in this. These are the settlers from Galloping Major. So we've painted up. Oh, I know what I'm doing. There's a lag on the YouTube and the StreamYard, so it's not working perhaps so well. But that's them. So that was 12 of those. You'll see the other side of the conservatory. there you go. Up we go into the conservatory. And then back down. I have to remember where the camera is on this. So here it comes again. Here we go.
Excellent.
And in here, we have got the Naval Brigade.
Nice.
Again, 12 figures, galloping major. I've just panned out a little bit, so we might get a bit more in there. Yeah, so that was fun and not so easy to do. In my lead pile, we'll just move across. Not sure how much you're going to see there.
You see most of it?
Yeah, that's the American Civil War Confederates, to go with the 8 casualties that I've got.
Yeah.
So all first corps. We've got some dismounted cavalry and skirmishers and a cannon and 12-man regiments. Oh, and it's going to be Hood's Brigade. So when I ordered my figures for it, what I hadn't reckoned on was actual General Hood has a beard. So the commander that I bought, although he looked very nice holding a pistol in the air, didn't have a beard. So we have worked with our green stuff to give him a beard.
You've done it, yeah?
Oh, yeah, yeah. You would not believe the minuscule amount of green stuff that I used. Ah, dear. And you're not going to see his beard, are you?
Yeah, you can see there's a beard on him.
There's a beard on him.
Yeah.
There is a beard on him.
Excellent.
He's got a beard. It works. Yeah, so that was that to a degree. And then something which is totally out of the blue, wasn't it?
What's that? Oh yeah, you bought them, didn't you? I forgot you got them. I was looking for them today. Thinking, where do they go?
Yeah, Sisters of Faith. There they are. Very much like the Sisters of Battle from Games Workshop. And these will be for Xenos Rampant. So there's 20 figures in the box. So that is going to give me 4 units of 5. At least.
Right. Mm-hmm.
Because they're in 5s and 10s, aren't they?
Yes.
I believe.
Most of the units are in 5s, as far as I can tell from the reading the rules.
So yeah, there's a sprue. And quite a good selection of heads. Some with masks, helmets and masks, and some are just heads. So yeah, that'd be interesting to put together to get a little army of that going. So and 4 chariots I've painted up, but I've hidden them away in a box, another box as well. So
yeah, I did last week. I did 4 chariots, didn't I, last week for mine?
Good evening, Cal. Yeah, good ones. I think they look quite good. The Sisters of Faith. So gonna have to work out how to paint them. I might use a good old Games Workshop white and red and white and black. So white armour and other bits in red. So it should be interesting. Oh.
I think I finally sorted my Xenos army out.
Oh, yes.
Yes, they've been delivered today. I haven't got them with me because they're still in the shop.
Oh, right. They're still in the shop, are they?
But now that we're stocking Max Mini, they do a range of sand dwellers.
Oh, right. Like the Dune people.
Yeah. So basically, well, they're like Arabs, but with science fiction style.
Right. So not the Fadikin or whatever they were called.
No.
But there's Arab clothing, but
Arab clothing with these sort of
sci-fi.
They got like scarves across the mouth and all the rest of it. So I'm thinking of doing them.
Right.
So either them, which could be getting some gene stealers from Games Workshop.
Oh, right.
But I have been buying today.
Yes, you did show me before we came on to live on air.
So you've got your dwarfs, obviously, with Dragon Rampant, and we've got we've got the club, we got a pirate army, we got a werewolf army, and the lizards and all the rest of it. And I use it's for Dragon Rampant is what we play.
Yeah.
And I use my El Cid medieval army with a few fantasy elements within it. I wanted to go for something that was completely fantasy, you know.
Yep.
So I purchased.
Are you ready for this?
Let's see it on the thing. Where is it? Let's get the thing.
Oh, look at that halfling sand raider army.
The TT Combat, as it says there.
Tabletop Games, right?
No, sorry, Tabletop Games. But that's changed. They're now part of Max Mini.
Oh, right.
So I've got that, and I've also got some genies.
Oh, right, yeah.
If you can see them in the pack. I'll open these up in a second. Yeah. And I've got pack of beetles to paint up a scarab beetles.
Okay, yeah.
To keep the sort of desert theme. But to say, this is, I've not opened this yet. So on the back, you can see a little bit more. You've got the cactus.
Ah, yes.
Construct.
Yeah.
Then you got, let's go that end. You got the little bloke, the commander who's on a flying carpet.
Yes. Yeah.
Little halflings.
Yeah, some wizardy type thing.
Yeah, got a wizard. I'm going to make some more because they're units of 12 and there's like 20 figures. With the archers, what I'm going to do is I'm going to do the unit of 12, and then I'm going to mount the other archers. I'm going to make use some green stuff to make some flying carpets.
All right.
And then have a unit of 6 men flying carpets with archers on the back.
Mounted archers, are they?
Well, they count as mounted, but we're flying.
Yes. Yeah.
Where's my knife? Get my knife out, my thing. So I don't know what the figures are like.
That's funny.
I've not opened the box yet.
That is funny. Yeah. That is a fantasy army. That is true.
It is, yeah. It is, and also the fact that they've done halflings as Arabs.
Yeah.
Makes it a little bit more fantastical.
I mean, if other people want to put down in the chat what they're working on, we can talk about them as well.
So let's just open one of these up and have a quick look at something. What should we find? What's this? See if we can get one of these out.
Oh dear God. I don't think my light's good enough for painting. Or should I say that my eyes are not good enough for painting in this light?
Can you see that? All right.
Yes, I can see it. A little chap with a shield and sword.
Yep, that's it. Looking at them, they're very well detailed.
Yeah,
they're very nice. The face is absolutely beautiful.
What are they made of?
Resin.
My
not so favourite product. It became so brittle.
Yeah, it just depends. It depends, doesn't it, on what type of resin they use? Because some of the Warlord resin, although it's resin, is quite sturdy.
Yeah, but some of their resin I find is very flexible.
finishing some World War I Germans and then on to some 10mm high elves. Whee! You wouldn't be able to see them and paint them in the light I'm working in, I can tell you.
So yeah, so there's quite a lot of figures in there. So that's a project that I'll just work on in between other projects.
Well, that's it, isn't it? I mean,
We've got so much going on.
Project-wise, we've got a fair old bit, haven't we? I've got two 15mm armies that I've got from last year to paint up, and then I've
got two as well.
You got two as well.
Your opponents, basically.
Yeah. You've built the armies to go against mine. And then I've got this American Civil War army to paint up for Rebels and Patriots. So that's about 116 figures, I would hazard a guess. The 15mm New Kingdom Egyptian, I've only got a unit of 24 of the Sea Peoples to paint and the 3 command chariots now, and then that one's finished, so that's quite good. But I've got a little bit more. I've got a little bit more to do on my Assyrians than you've got, so yeah, it won't take me long. And then I think I've probably got about 75% still to paint up of the French Huguenots. I got about 100% of that to paint. I think I've painted one writer unit, and that's it. I'm thinking it's tricky to work out. I think I've got 2 units of commanded shot to paint up, and another 2, possibly 2 cavalry units. So that might actually be it. But that's going to be 16, possibly 32 cavalry, and another 48 infantry. So it's not huge amounts once we get started into it. So once the New Kingdom's out of the way, I'll start doing a few more bits of the Huguenots whilst I'm playing around doing the Confederates, waiting for John to catch up. Yeah, I'm a bit behind. Once John catches up, we can start on the English Civil War. Have you got the books handy that we bought? I haven't got the Haynes manual, but I've got the other one, which is just on the bookshelf. I'll go and grab the one. I've got the Haynes one. You got the Haynes one, right? I've got the Haynes one quite handy. So we picked up a copy of this each off of Amazon, unfortunately. They were reduced from £25 down to £8. And then we bought got a copy of this English Civil War campaign scenarios. Yeah. And it's particularly related to the Southwest, so Hopton and Waller. So that's for our English Civil War. I don't know if I showed this one last time, but I picked this one up. Oh yeah, you got that little one, haven't you, as well? Hopton. Evening, Bob. Welcome to the viewings. So what I've been doing today is I've actually been listing work. In between serving customers, I was listing the units out of that campaign book. Yeah. All the foot units. So I get a list of all the foot units in the campaign book, and then I can look online to try and get the colour schemes. Yeah. Because we're finding that a bit confusing, well, at least I am. That's it. I mean, because from the bits that we've got, if you look back on, I'll probably do a video on the unboxing of the stuff that I've got in more detail. But we got 2 starter armies each, box of cuirassiers, 2 artillery pieces, I think, odds and ends, commanders and bits and pieces, wasn't it? And a box of dragoons. So I think working it out, it gives us 4 battalia, which is 16 pike, and or is it 24? Oh, how many pike? 16. I think it's 16 pike and 24. 16 pike and 24 musketmen, 12 on either side, isn't it? So it gives us 4 battalia. I think, is it like 4 horse regiments we've got? About that, yeah. 2 horse regiments in each box. I think I've got one more than you, because I've got a unit of harquebuses. And you've got harquebuses, haven't you? So then I've got they've got a unit of cuirassiers. Yeah, so a unit of dragoons each. Do that. So we've been trying to work out the clothing, what coat colours. And the English Civil War is pretty difficult if people have looked into it themselves, because it's not particularly accurate, is it? So, some of them get given the colour. So I've managed to look at 4 regiments for mine to come up with coat colours. So I looked at it again last night, and there's Popham's Regiment of Foot, which in the early part of the campaign was veterans or trained, one of the two, trained I think. And then by the end of the campaign, they were down to raw, but they had blue coats, so that'd be quite handy. Then I've got the Merrick's Regiment, which will be grey, and then there's a red unit for Essex, and then there's a tawny, orangey brown colour coat. So that'll be interesting. But we can.
I think my colours are going to be pretty similar.
Just scratch me ear. That's better.
From what I've seen.
Yep. So let's have a few colours coming up with the army.
We're also trying to match it to flags that we can get as well, aren't we? We're trying to do it so we can get the flags.
That is a limiting sort of factor to it, getting the flags. And we've looked on Flags of War, which is a very good site. There's also Pete's flags to have a look at as well. I haven't had to delve into that. I've just looked. I've just remembered that they're about. But there's also the free one online, isn't there?
Yeah, there is. But I'll be honest,
I can't remember who it was.
I've got the Flags of War for my 1812 campaign. I must have do like the flags.
They were good. Yeah, because I
like the quality. Yeah, I like the quality and everything about them. So I think they're well worth the money.
Yeah. And I bought, what did I bought? To help me paint, 3 paintbrushes.
AB?
These are Rosemary & Co.
Right.
Rosemary & Co. Kalinsky Sable. For the price of 3 is the price of 1 Winsor & Newton.
Right.
So, yeah. So 3 of these for one Winsor & Newton. So I shall see how these go. But my poor old Winsor & Newton is it's hard to see, but it's on its last legs. You put a bit of paint on it,
and it spreads.
It bends now. Poor old paintbrush. There it is. Look, poor little paintbrush.
I left one. I don't know how, but I left one of mine in my water.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was completely wrecked after I'd done that.
Well, this one I got just prior. Well, not just prior. Probably about 4 months prior to Russia invading Ukraine. And the unfortunate thing with my local shop stopped selling them because the hair is made from sables from Russia.
Right.
But since the invasion, they haven't bought any more hair from Russia. So they're just using up their stocks. But they also get them from Manchuria. And Rosemary & Co. also imported from Russia. So they're using up their stocks. But they get their hair now from Canada. So they've now doing quite well without purchasing from Russia. So yeah, so we'll give them a go on that.
I mainly use army painter brushes, as you know, Ken.
I do. And
that's my there's my batch of army painter brushes, all in various conditions. Depending on what I'm painting, I choose which one to use. So I've got some that are for slapping on the old paint.
Some of those do not look very good.
Yeah, but that's for slapping on paint when you're doing a large area.
Yeah, yeah.
And then I've got like that one, which is in good condition. Oh, hang on. So that's a nice one.
Yeah, that one looks okay.
And as you know, I buy, and I would recommend this to anybody to do. These are my brushes that I use. And you can pick up basically that amount of brushes for about £3 at
The works.
The works.
Yes.
But they're great for undercoating and things like that. So
they are good for that.
Recommend doing that because you can spend money and buy a army painter one that costs around about, I think it's £7 odd now.
Yeah.
They're no better.
Well,
I shouldn't say that, but there you go.
Well, yeah. I picked up let's go to my little paint pot.
What's he picked up now? Oh.
My pot of brushes. Well, one of the pots of brushes. But there's
as far as I'm concerned, a brush is no good once there's no hair left.
Yeah.
A brush, no matter how much hair is on it, has still got a use.
Now, there we go.
Even if it's applying super glue into certain areas, if it's really thin.
Right. 5 brushes. And they vary, drop it down, vary between size 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Not particularly detail brushes, but that was 13 quid for those. And again, they're sable ones, but from China.
Remember the first time we ever bought AB brushes?
Somewhat.
The AB brushes. Do you remember the first time we ever bought them?
Yes.
Which was that? Where was that? Was that Hereward?
Could it be Hereward?
Hereward at a show about 3 years ago? Must be 4 years ago.
Yeah, it could be that.
Yeah, I've still got one left, look.
Have you?
Still got one left.
I just find the acrylic ones, the tops bend over.
Yeah, I wasn't over impressed with that particular one we bought, but they have done some better ones now, I know, because you bought some better ones, haven't you?
I did.
Because I think they'd only just started when we bought them.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know where they came, which ones they were, but yeah. Brushes is always a tricky one, isn't it? But it is as it is with the brushes. So I'll give the Rosemary and Co's ones a whirl. I got them many years ago, and I can't remember how I got on with them, because I then moved on to the Winsor and Newton. But the Winsor and Newton are so expensive now. A bargain price is somewhere in the region of about £18 with postage. So it's just too expensive.
I bought something else today as well, Ken.
Mm-hmm.
I think you may have used this colour, and I just want to see what I got these in again today, and I've got your one put by for you.
Thank you. The dark earth.
Have you used this really sand colour, or has anyone used this really sand colour? Because I haven't opened it yet.
What's it called?
It just seems really light to me.
I've got the
I want to use it for sand.
I've got the orangier one.
Yeah, the what they call light brown.
That's the one, yeah.
What I was thinking is putting this on,
yeah,
and then putting a soft tone wash over the top of it.
Yeah, you could go.
And then dry brush over the top to highlight. This is, by the way, this is for 3 or 4 different armies I'm doing at the moment.
Yeah, I used the light earth.
Yeah.
Painted it dark sand, Vallejo dark sand. Then put soft tone over it, and then dry brushed it with.
But putting soft tone over it, it didn't make it soft again. No, that's what I was concerned about. Because sometimes that happens.
Once it's dry, put the soft tone over.
Okay, we'll give it a go.
Because that will come out more or less like what I've done for the Cowboys. Okay,
because this is going to be for the Halfling army that I'm doing.
Yeah.
I showed, but I'm also going to use this on the Assyrians.
Yeah.
And then I'm going to get some of the other one. So unfortunately, I only ordered 2 of each, and I've sold nearly all of them already, and only came in today.
Well,
Ryan,
it is pretty useful.
Yeah, Ryan came in early and bought some.
Yeah.
On your recommendation.
Yeah. It works quite well. I mean, I think you probably do have to do the put some bits around the bases if the bases are particularly chunky. But if you're doing just plastic figures or resin figures glued to a base, then that's no problem because there's no raised.
It's going to be because I'll be gluing these down onto
but I think that colour and the soft tone will work well.
Yeah.
Good grief! Now this little figure here, clutching his chest, where he's been hit by a bullet. You may not see it on the back.
Has he got a hole in the back?
It's got a hole in the back.
Well, you've got to put a bit of blood on that, haven't you? You've got to put a bit of red on that. Does anyone ask any questions?
There is a hole.
Ken? Anyone ask any questions? Anyone got any questions they want to ask?
Yeah, ask any questions.
Yeah, we'll try and answer.
Yeah.
I could do a bit of painting. No, I can't be bothered.
I mean, other than that, what have we got coming up? We are at Stevenage Museum on the 4th of February.
Yep.
Doing some demonstration games.
Unfortunately, I won't be there.
Yeah.
I've got to work in the shop because of Magic the Gathering's got a release that day. But yeah, you can go to the museum, see us.
Stevenage Museum will be there from 10 till 4.
And then come along to the shop.
Yeah.
There'll be some vouchers at the museum with 20% discount on anything you purchase in the shop. So yeah, come and have a look if you're in the area. If there's any locals.
And there's a lot of stuff in the store. Really good stuff.
Yeah, we've just taken on Max Mini. We got Mantic coming soon into the store, range of Mantic stuff, and Sarissa Buildings. I've sorted out an account with them, and that's along with Victrix, Griffin Beast, Perry Plastics. What else?
Warlord.
Forge.
Yeah, lots of Warlord stuff.
Do a lot of wargaming stuff.
Yes.
And mainly all historical. We do a bit of Games Workshop, but we've got other places in the town that sells that, so we like to stock a lot of historical, which no one else sells.
No, so there is a goodly amount of stuff.
We've even got Essex 15mm.
Yeah.
Like an old-fashioned shop that we remember from the early days of our wargaming.
Oh yeah.
The guard room over at Dunstable.
Oh yes, the guard room. Ah.
What was the one in London near King's Cross?
In Peterborough. So yeah, you are pretty close.
What was the one near King's Cross Station? Just go there occasionally. Can't think the name of it now.
I can't remember the name of it.
No, I can't remember the name of that. No. Anyone remembers it?
We are going to Hammerhead.
Yep.
Yep. We are putting on a game at Hammerhead.
Yep.
We're doing the Orc Store, Stompy says. Evening, Stompy. Was that what it was? King's Cross?
Was that the one near King's Cross?
I went there once. It was closed, and I got a puncture on my motorbike. Orc's Nest.
Orc's Nest. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, got a puncture on my motorbike. That was a very very good day. Oh dear.
Anyone going to Salute this year?
It's the 50th, isn't it?
22nd of April.
Yeah.
Don't know. I can't make my mind. I'd like to go, but
I'd like to go, but it was so knackering last time.
It was last time because I was on the had a stick last time, didn't I? Because of my knee.
You were, yeah. It was pretty knackering last time.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Green Dragons still do. Oh yeah, his War of the Roses. I do like the War of the Roses. Green Dragon. If you haven't seen Green Dragon, go and visit him on his YouTube channel. He's been doing some nice little retinues for the War of the Roses and also the British Army that he's started up for the bolt action.
There's that more of the Roses. There's that event, isn't there, at Barnet that we're looking to go to?
Yeah, there is, isn't there?
I can't remember when it was.
No, I can't. That is a problem, is it? So
I look on the phone because obviously I'm using the phone for this.
Yeah. Yeah.
So we're looking to try and get a club day out for that. All of us from the club go along.
Oh dear. This is not good view.
What other shows are we doing this year? Actually doing that we've got confirmed.
Well, sort of confirmed. Just
Selwig definitely.
Selwig definitely.
We've got to go to that. We've got no choice.
Yeah, because we've got to give them the trophy back, haven't we?
We had.
we did win a trophy. Yes, Battle of Barnet.
That's it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that looks good, like a good day out.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yes, we won best participation game.
We did.
That's at Selwyn. That was your ding dong game, which is what we're doing at Hammerhead, isn't it?
It is, yeah.
Yeah.
And then
so we're doing the same game.
It's a Partisan is a couple of weeks after that, I think.
Is it?
The first Partisan.
Yeah, we normally go to the second one, don't we? Isn't that what we did last year?
No, we did the first Partisan, and we didn't go to the second Partisan because that was a week after Selwig.
All right, okay.
So
are they close?
I think we might just go to Partisan to have a look around.
Are they closer together this year than they were last? We went to both last year, didn't we?
I think they are.
But was you looking at Hereward as well?
Hereward September.
That's on this year because it weren't on last year, was it?
No. So
that's very local.
I haven't put us forward yet, so I need to look at dates and things. But we may be doing that. So Bob says he's finally finished his carpet. I looked at it and I thought, carpet baggers. No, it's not. It's 5-cart baggage train for the Templars Hospitallers. My glasses are not very clean. Stompy's still thinking of doing some Hussite war wagons for my Empire army. Yeah.
What make you going to do? What
Hi, Jay,
company?
how are you?
For the Hussite wagons, what company are you going to use?
Oh. Back in the tick.
Okay. I can't see the chat, so I don't know if anyone's chatting.
No, I've just I'll come back and see and have a read.
Yeah.
So Stompy John's asking who you're looking at for your Hussite war wagons. Right, let's see if I can put these on without them falling over. So this is in reply to Bob and his baggage carts for his Templars.
Oh yes, your camels.
Oh, the camels.
There they go.
Yeah. Oh dear. It's a famine. Right. Stumpy says 3D print, I guess. First core bits are a bit expensive, but not sure of rules.
Okay. Give me a second.
Yep. 3D printed. I could do this for hours. Stumpy says Eskis on Mini Factory, my Mini Factory.
If you haven't, for my Fantasy Army. I purchased a First Corps Hussite wagon, which I've got here. So this is the First Corps one, and that's the. Let's get that. Is the inside? I can just about see that.
They are 3D print camels.
So that's that, and then you get the two, just so you can see what they look like. Before you make your mind up, oh, there you go. That's the horses. If that helps you, but it's a nice model. It's a very nice model.
Those legs aren't going to last. No, they're going to be stuck on a base of 3. So I've got to get some handlers and glue them on. That should hopefully keep them safe. But you never know.
What else have I got on?
You never know.
Trying to see what else I've got lying around.
I saw Jay was in the chat. What are you working on, Jay? Anything? Yeah, John's done a nice job on the war wagon. Come to, it's hard to focus on.
That's what I was going to ask you, Ken. What did you use on the Wild West Church? What brown did you use for that wood effect?
On the
yeah, that's thrown you a
on the sides.
Curveball, isn't it? Yeah, on the actual wood. You know, you done the wood. What was the main colour of the wood? Was it acrylic or did you use household paint?
No, I think it is Vallejo old wood,
right?
Washed with Agrax,
right? And
then old wood with off-white.
Okay. Because I want to do a similar thing for the what I showed earlier, the barn.
Yeah, that's what I use for that, I think.
Because if I can match it, we could actually use that barn in the Wild West as well.
Yeah,
it can be multi-purpose.
Yeah. Good. Casualty markers.
I can't do any painting because if I do painting, I've got to bring my light down and it does that.
Yeah. The only thing I can do is just all I'm doing is giving the flesh a first base coat, because that's about as good as I can get in here with the light, really.
Yeah.
I've got to go for an eye test because it's my letters come through saying it's about time you had an eye test. Trouble is, I don't think I can afford new glasses.
Not cheap, are they?
No.
I've got to have the same.
Yeah.
My attitude is I don't bump into anything when I'm walking along, so I don't need them.
No, I mean,
as you know, I don't wear them when I'm painting.
No. Whereas I can't see anything which is close up if I haven't got a good pair of glasses on.
Yeah. It's distance for me rather than close up.
Lant Arui or Aru. Where have we got to go? Salute.
Oh, I know what to do.
So places that we are going. We're going to be at Hammerhead.
Mm-hmm.
We will be going to Selwig in October. We probably will do Hereford at Peterborough. I think that's about that so far. What do we reckon to Flames of War? Yeah, that is about right. What you say there. Played a few games and got to grips with the rules, but just seems to be armor penetration, rolling, not much tactics. We're only using tanks. Yeah, I played.
I don't like them.
No, I played Flames of War many years ago when it first came out, and Specsavers. Yeah, that's probably where I may go. I'll go to Boots to get my eyes tested because I want them to do a photograph of my eye. I've got a bit of problem with the left one, so I think I need to get it captured how it is now till the next time I go. Yeah, so Flames of War. Yeah, it didn't really grab us. No, we've played O Group and we do like O Group, but O Group is much more time consuming. I think even if you know the rules, it takes a longish time, and a lot of the games that we play are on a Wednesday evening between sort of 6 and 9. Well, 6 and 10, isn't it? Really, by the time we get closed tidied away. So we find that O Group doesn't really fit into that time period, but we do like it as a game. And O Group, you have mostly it works with infantry company. So you have 3 platoons to a company, and you have three companies, and you're attacking on a battalion scale. And then you have your supports with it. So you could have tank supports of a section or a squadron. And I have seen lately they have done a set for tanks, Kursk or something like that. So O Group we like. It's got a good mechanism for order and a bit of friction within it. A good bit of fun with jump off points or combat patrols that they're called, and off-board artillery, which works really quite well. And we do like it, but it takes time. Other than that, you're probably back to 15mm plain bolt action, which works just as well in 28 or 15. Keep the range, keep the distance moved, and I think it works really well.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Yeah.
We're looking to do. We've been talking about doing the tank wars rather than the normal, and I think if we did it, it'd be 15mm.
Yeah, I think so. Tank wars in 15mm. Yeah.
So if you're wondering what I'm doing, I'm just sorting out some Syrian chariots for my next batch. If you can hear like any noise in the background.
We can hear quite a lot of noise there, John.
Can we? Oh dear, sorry.
But carry on.
Because I'm putting them on my plastic box. So.
Yeah, only have like a 2-hour window, so don't want to, I would not go for O Group then if you've only got 2 hours. 2 hours bolt action, 15mm, works quite well. What's the other thing, John? The other fifth, you could do chain of command, but we find chain of command takes much longer than 2 hours. I'm
not going to love a chain of command because I don't like the idea that when we played that game, my Matilda tank moved once in the whole game.
Yeah,
didn't like that.
It's pretty reliant on what you roll as your command dice.
Yeah.
I think that that's probably. Andrew, thank you for thinking about that. Is it command decision? No. Was it command decision? The other one where you don't actually measure the distance you move.
No, that's not command decision. Was a modern set of rules from years ago, mate.
Ah, right.
That's the one where we spent 45 minutes trying to figure out if a missile hit a tank or not. Well, no, it's there's Iron Cross.
Yeah.
That's done by Great Escape Games, isn't it? Iron Cross.
Yeah, well, I can't think of it. Wait, you say
Crossfire.
I'm going to move to the edge, and I'm going to move to that. That's it, Crossfire.
Crossfire.
Yeah, I think that one moves quite quickly, doesn't it?
Yes.
But I've not played it.
I've just chucked all my list on the floor.
Yeah, that's it, Andrew. Thank you. Crossfire. Yeah.
Crossfire.
Yeah. God, I really need to get a video done of my Templar army. I was going to do that today, but I ended up child minding again. So that took us out.
Right, so let me just.
It's been one of those days. Off out at 8. Dropped the daughter off to get a bus. Off to go and babysit for another daughter. Back home, collect a daughter from work. Take the dog to the vet. Got back from the vet. Had a quick bite to lunch, and then straight onto here.
Well, I finished work at 6, and I got home and sat to eat and straight on here.
Yeah, that's it. Busy. Don't know what I've got planned tomorrow. Probably shopping for food. But there we are. Yeah. Anything else of interest that we've got going on?
I've been looking around trying to think, see if there's anything lying about that.
Yeah. Other than that, got that was the American Civil War. Oh. Terrain-wise, just trying to do a bit of terrain. Still working on the bits. What have we got?
Well, I can't think of anything else.
Barons War terrain. Oh,
nice.
Where the camera is. So yeah, I just got to do the base part of it. Got the rest of it painted up for the forge. So that's coming along. Just got to think about what I'm going to do for the bottom of the basing. And something else, which was
I've got a section church that I've got to get carried on working. This is I can't remember if it's war bases or TT combat. I can't remember.
Oh right, yeah.
But what I was to do, I've purchased some sheets of brickwork.
Oh right, yeah.
Brickwork for model railways in 1/72.
Right, yeah.
That's perfect. So I'm going to try and do that on that. So next time we do this, I'll probably have some of that done.
All right.
I forgot about that.
Here we go. This is one of the next bits. The Barons War Church.
Yep.
3D printed, because that's all they did it with the STL files online, or you could get it as the printed one. But it was so expensive to get it done, so I just went for the STL files. So 3D printed it was with plastic, so you can see the striations. So you can't dry brush this. However, I watched a video from Valhalla Games, and they were using a resin application which you paint on, and it fills the striation marks.
Right.
So you mix up the resin, and then you probably don't. They were doing it with a what do you call it? Sponge applicator. Let it dry, and it dries like a shiny gloss, but it fills most of your striation marks. So I'm wondering about that, because they bought it to use on the terrain that they built for their campaign book. You know, the one that I got for Sicily, for the paratroopers, Pegasus. No, not Pegasus Bridge. Plymouth Old Bridge.
Yeah.
So, yeah. So I might have a look and see how much it costs. They did say it was expensive, but they're in Australia, no, New Zealand. So it probably is expensive for them to get it. But I'll check it out online, because I need to do the church and get that done. Because then I've got a nice set of gravestones from it's 3D. Oh, this one. This is resin, yeah, because Martin did it for me some time ago. So that one, those are all resin from the Baron Wars. Will we do stained glass windows for the church? No, not like that.
Anyone know of anyone who actually produces them?
What, stained glass windows?
Yeah, do you go inside the models? If there's not, why not?
Do you know, it's somewhere in my... Those windows won't do it. But somewhere in my mind, I do think about stained glass windows, and that I've seen something. Because it'd only be acetate, wouldn't it? You could print it.
Yeah.
You could print it on the acetate glossy paper. Not paper, is it? You know what I mean. Transfer stuff, maybe.
Well, actually, you could do it on a glossy paper, actually, as you just said.
Yeah.
Because you wouldn't necessarily be able to see through a stained glass window.
No, you could use the plastic window sheeting, couldn't you? And then just put it behind it. Yeah, so you could do that. Yeah, that is a good thought, but not for this particular church, because I'd have to cut the windows out. Cool. Oh no, too difficult. God, too difficult, that one.
Too much like hard work.
It is too much like hard work.
Yeah. There's projects like that, I think to myself, how many figures could I paint in the same time?
Oh, yeah.
That it would take me to do it.
Yeah.
Is it worth it?
That big church for Dead Man's Hand took me forever.
Yeah, that's a big old church, though. It is a big model.
Big old church. And the next time for the roof, I'd probably just buy the... Is it Warbases or Sarissa?
What's that?
Do the roof tiles.
Sarissa, I think.
Do strips of
I think it's
roof
Sarissa.
tiles.
I think it's Sarissa.
Yeah, I think that is the case.
That's handy. I'm about to get a count for him, isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah, that would be handy.
I want the Star Fort. Have you seen the Star Fort they do?
Yes.
Because it would work for my 1812, your American War of Independence, and your American Civil War.
It would do. Yeah.
I think it's 85 quid.
Yeah.
Have you seen that one?
Is that retail or after discount?
Sorry?
Is that retail or after discount?
That's retail. You know we don't pay that.
That makes it interesting, doesn't it?
Have you seen the model they do of the Alamo?
Yes. Yeah.
But we're
not doing the Alamo, are we?
No, but you could use it for other things.
Yeah.
It does look nice.
It does look nice. Yeah.
And it also depends how many sections it is, because you could probably break it up to make it into something else. The buildings and whatnot.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's a nice model.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, even if you had the Star Fort and half of it, you could put it in the corner, couldn't you?
Yeah, you could either do that, or you can have it as a full Star Fort on the battlefield. Do a big Sunday game to take the fort.
Yeah. So
I think there is a scenario, I think, in Rebels and Patriots for that.
There is. Yeah.
Maybe not quite such a big fort, but
no. But there is, isn't there?
Yes.
Yeah.
We have to paint a lot more 1812 to do it, though. Mind you, I've got enough to paint for that.
Okay, that's tricky to decide. What is interesting. Oh wait, I have to look at that one in a better light because I can't quite make out what he's wearing.
I'm going to try and get another. I'm going to try and get another 4 chariots done by Sunday.
Yeah, I don't think I'll get the. It depends whether I can get out and get the sea people sprayed up. I did the American Civil War stuff only because it was easier. Because I could, I just stick them down on a big bit of wood and hold that, whereas the chariots, where the sea people are on separate little lolly sticks, and I didn't have a lot of time because I needed to get a bit sorted to take the dog. So yeah. Do any miniature companies produce Red Indians on horses? Yes, they do. Pony Wars.
Yeah.
War Games Foundry.
Yeah, I think they do.
They do some, don't they?
I think so. Yeah.
Who else?
They're more 25 mil than 28, though, aren't they?
Yeah. Who else do 28 mil? Native Americans, sort of Pony War style. I don't know. Other than that, nothing else sort of springs to mind. Yeah, War Games Foundry. They are older sculpts, aren't they?
Mm-hmm.
So they are more. They are the smaller sort of end of 28 mil. But saying that, I've got their Dad's Army figures, and they're not. I don't think they're any smaller than the.
Well, you used them, didn't you, for Ding Dong?
Yeah.
And they don't stand out. You don't look at it and go, oh, they're a smaller figure.
No.
I think it depends
when I'm using first core, which are big.
Yeah, if you start mixing, I think it starts to show. But if you do them just as units, it doesn't show up. It's a bit like me, the 1812 I'm doing. I'm using Parkfield miniatures, Perry miniatures, and North Star miniatures. And the North Star miniatures are slightly chunkier and slightly bigger than the other two. The other two are quite similar. But when we play a game, you don't really notice it.
No, because it's the unit, isn't it, that you've got?
Yeah, because the units I've done, that they're all the same sort of supply.
Yeah. 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 So they look all right. So one thing with the Confederates that I'm going to be painting up is there's going to be a lot of variation in the uniform. So lots of browns and things. Browns and greys and blues. Bit of red here and there.
That's all them trimmed up, ready for putting onto bases for painting.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's another 4 chariots, that'll be.
Pony Wars. Yeah, Pony Wars is sort of the Sioux, Apache, Comanche, I think, and 7th sort of cavalry, isn't it?
Yeah, and I think they do like Custer and all the rest of it. That's figures.
Yeah. Not thinking of gaming with them, just as a to do. Yeah, as a little project to have something nice to do. We all do things like that, don't we? Pick them up and think, oh, they'd be nice to paint up, not necessarily to game with. I've got some odd things like that.
Yeah, I haven't got so many of that. I don't really do that.
No, I get the odd ones, one or two.
I usually try. I usually manage to incorporate them into an army somewhere along the line. It's a bit like my priest, my bishop, I should say.
Oh yeah.
Is my magic user within my fantasy human army. With all these holy spells that he does.
Yeah, just differently. I mean, the trouble is, I come into the store and
you do.
and yeah, and buy things, which is it. And there was
because one of the latest ones that Ken came in and purchased, he came in for completely a different reason, was the figures he showed earlier.
There you go, look.
The female paladins.
The ogre. He just looks so good in the pack that I thought, must buy him and paint him.
All right, I will say this now. Don't come in and look at the Max Minis. There's a set of 3 ogres in that look absolutely brilliant.
And then there was that painting challenge.
Yeah, that was your little scenario, little diorama.
Yeah, little diorama. Got the 3 adventurers walking around the edge, and then the old saber tooth on top. Yeah, you just see these little things and you think, yeah, I quite fancy that. But I've still got the zebras to paint up for Congo.
Yes, I think I've done all my animals for that.
All right, yeah, I've still got the zebras to do.
I think my thing is sort of like them animals that I showed earlier, the moose and the bear and that, to add them onto the table just so they look, you know, it's in Canada, you'd have a moose in Canada, so why not have a model on there?
Yeah.
The best one is the beavers that I've got as well.
Cheers, Bob.
Tiny little thing.
I really enjoyed painting up the ogre. He was good. I liked him. I go get his bigger brother.
Oh, excuse me. Yawning away. It's been a knackering day.
Yeah.
I'm just not there's anything else to show.
The bigger brother.
Oh,
there he is.
Yeah, my giant's at the shop, isn't it?
Yeah.
Giant.
The old GW. Yeah, yellow and green, Norwich City. Can't go wrong with that, can you?
Now, just to show you something that's on the shelf. This is the. You can try and see if I can get that light a bit better. Let's put it there.
Some more of the 1812.
These are more of my 1812 project that I'm doing. These are the first US rifles. So yeah, got about 10 units done now. Oh no, more than that actually. About 14 units done, 7 on each side. We've fought a few battles already. Ken beat me in the first one. Thanks, Ken. I lost the second one, but I won on this week. My Americans won. So the Americans are 2-1 up at the moment in the battles.
So how many units do you think you've now?
I've got about 7.
Have you got painted for each?
I think I've got about 7 of each.
7 of each.
Yeah.
So how many will you have?
Never ending.
I
think I can get up to about 50 of each side, 50 units. This is my sort of like never-ending force that I'm doing. So, because what we're doing a campaign at the shop where we're playing Rebels and Patriots. I don't know if anyone plays that, but in that you create an officer. So what I'm doing is I'm doing it as a solo game, but everyone at the club has created an officer. So even though I'm doing it solo, rather than me fighting myself, they will actually just come and play the officer. So I've got to paint both sides. I'm not being 100% accurate. It's a bit of fun. I've got a thing on the internet I found which gives you all the different uniforms, and I've got some very weird and wonderful uniforms. Typical example, I've got an American unit, the Boston Hussars. They never actually fought anywhere. They were just stationed at one of the forts. They never actually got any action, but obviously in our game they are, because I just want to paint the uniforms because they look good. So it's a bit sort of old school wargaming rather than doing anything historically 100% accurate. The only thing we're doing is the campaign will last about 2 years in real time, because every battle we fight is 1 week in the War of 1812, and the war lasted for 3.5 years. However, they didn't fight between December and April because of the weather in Canada. So yeah, and at the end of it, you never know, we might get to burn the White House down.
Yeah, or the weather in the store when it's really cold.
Yeah. So interesting subject matter, really interesting war. Some very, very interesting units.
It is.
They even had
because I have played one game already with the American.
Yes, I said earlier you won.
Yeah, but there's a real variety of uniforms and styles that John's painting up for it. They are really good.
The British forces actually had West Indian troops that were dressed in British uniform, coloured troops that they used, and they fought extremely well, and they were very impressive in the battlefield. You've got one of the most unusual ones, which I'll get one. Oh, where is he?
Oh, God, dear. That Coke went down the wrong way. Oh.
This is one very, very interesting unit that I discovered. And now I don't know if you can, let's try and get this light working. You can probably see that is a Napoleonic French Guard. There was a unit, chap by the name of, I think you say it, Pluchet, I think you say it. He fought in the Peninsular War and then went back to America, and he formed with all the Frenchmen in America these units. He had a chasseur unit, the guard unit, and that's the uniform they wore. They had French uniforms, and they fought at the Battle of New Orleans at the end of the war. And yeah, I got a book on it to double check. There's a reenactment group that dressed in that uniform, so that makes an interesting unit for the Americans.
Leslie, welcome, Leslie. Leslie is getting them organised to play Muskets and Tomahawk 2 with them. But he says, have you got any Kentucky ones, John?
Not yet. I will have. I've got so many figures, it's unbelievable.
You have got an awful lot, because we went through them, didn't we?
Yeah. So I've got, I started off by buying some North Star, but then I discovered that I didn't realise that Parkfield Miniatures had done a range, and I painted them before, and they're nice figures to paint. But the ones I just showed, they were Parkfield Miniatures, and they're a bit smaller. But as I said earlier, when you get them on the battlefield, you don't really notice the difference in sizes. But what I'm doing is I'm using Perry Miniatures for the British. I'm using the Perry Peninsula British in plastic, but then I'm using 4 of the Parkfield to represent the command, because you only get 1 command in the box, but you get a lot more figures. So I'm doing that just to cut costs a bit. Yeah, I'm enjoying it. It's good to research it and find out about the war. And there's a very good documentary on YouTube, Canadian documentary, which I watched, which was very interesting.
Yeah, and there was that Too Fat Lardy one, wasn't there? The 1812 campaign book that Mike Hobbs, who's sadly no longer with us, put together.
There is a film actually of the thing called Buccaneer with Yul Brynner and I think it's Charlton Heston, and they refight the bat. They got like they filmed the Battle of New Orleans at the end of it. It's all about the pirate. Yul Brynner plays the pirate who gets his troops, brings his crews aboard on to defend New Orleans. That's an interesting. You can't get it though. You can only see clips of it. Yeah, you can only see snippets of it on YouTube. You can't get hold of the film. You can in America, but not in the UK.
Right.
So I can't add that to my collection of historical and war films that I've got.
Leslie says, will I be putting out a guide? No. Because it's all John's work. And
he might do a couple of battle. He might do some battle reports.
There'll be some battles, possibly, quite likely.
Unfortunately, I stopped doing my YouTube channel, so it's actually.
Leslie also says, have you found the Canadian website detailing the uniforms?
I'm not sure. I've got about 6 sites I've got at the moment.
So he not sure. There, if you've got
the one I'm using is the War Games of 1812 blog. Is the one I've used to get the uniforms.
Lan asks, have you got the duelists on DVD, John?
No. Is that it? Is it also the same subject?
That could be. I would hazard a guess.
If not, it's. I think I've seen that one that I was going to get it, but I'll be honest. I mainly buy from CEX in Stevenage, and I go on and I look up loads of films on there, and just to see whether they're at the actual store, and I then go and buy them. Because I went in the other week and I got what was it? Got about 8 DVDs for a tenner. What was it? Vikings, the classic with Kirk Douglas and Tony Curtis. Kagamusha, Japanese one. Lawrence of Arabia I picked up. A few others. A Chinese one, red something. I've lent that to Kevin. 55 Days of Peking, which I watched the other day, which I love that film. I like a lot of the classics, you know, the 60s, 70s films that came out. One of my favourite, totally inaccurate film is the Errol Flynn, Charles of the Light Brigade. Totally wrong. Totally unhistorically correct. But it's a good film if you just watch it as a film rather than, oh, this is the wrong history.
Well, that's it, isn't it?
I think I've got about 60 films now. And sadly, I've got them all in order. So the first film on the list would be Troy. And the last would be one of my Vietnam ones, Apocalypse Now. And they go in the order.
You're doing them in...
It starts with ancient, then it goes into medieval.
Keith Carradine and Harvey Keitel, French Napoleonics, are duelists, apparently.
Okay, I might look out for that one. I might see if CX have got that one. But there's a lot I want to get still. I did find up in Aberdeen. CEX had the pre-war 1937 German film of the Teutonic Knights fighting. I can't remember the name of the film. I think it was Polish.
What a shame it was in Newcastle. Do they not send down?
They can send down, but I'll be honest, last time I did that, I ordered the box set of Victory at Sea documentary on naval warfare, and they sent the complete wrong thing. It was only £1, I know, but it put me off a bit. But then I got it replaced. But yeah. But yeah, I don't mind doing postage, but I do try and support my local CEX if I can.
Yeah. Well, that's it.
It's a shame they don't do like inter-branch transfers.
Yeah. That's what I was meaning.
Yeah. It's a shame they don't do that. They don't charge a lot for postage, but
no, I've seen a book on Hellion. You know the Hellion book company. They do a lot of history stuff. There's like you've got the Hopton book and its campaigns. They do one on Waller.
All right.
So I think the hardback is something like 25 quid.
Right.
Or you can get the PDF for 5 quid. So I'll probably get the 5 quid version and have a look at that. See what there's in there.
Okay. I can't remember how much I paid. I think I got my one I got off of eBay, I think. Yeah. For about 15 quid off eBay.
Oh, right, that's not bad, is it?
Yeah. You know, with me with PDFs, I'm not a great lover of PDFs.
Yeah.
Because I've only got my computer or my phone to watch them. I haven't got. If I had a tablet, I'd get back in, but I haven't got a tablet these days. No. Keep meaning to think buy one, but then I think, why do I really need it? A lot of money for something I might not actually really need.
Well, that is it, yeah.
A lot of figures you could buy instead. Well, not that I really need any more figures.
No, not really. I
already said I weren't going to buy any more after we bought the English Civil War, and I go and buy another army.
It, yeah, and then you've got this halfling army. But,
yeah, I know, it was terrible. But that's the only trouble, because I work in the shop and I do all the ordering for wargame stuff. I see these things and I think, oh, I fancy that. You know, it's just terrible. Actually terrible.
Yeah, that is. It's never ending, is it?
Yeah.
There's so much so I think. Yeah, just send the PDF out to a printing company. Yeah, we've done that a couple of times. I've got to do one. I'll do one this week. I would hazard a guess, which is the what's it called?
King and Country.
King and Country. I've got the PDF of that, so we'll. Don't
forget, Martin wants one as well. Don't forget.
Oh, does he want one?
Yeah, Martin wanted one.
Oh, right. Oh, that's a good job you reminded me then.
Yeah. If it weren't Martin, it was someone, because I knew somebody said they wanted one.
Oh,
I'm pretty certain it's Martin.
Right, better check with him then before I
order it. We use the same company, don't we? We got
Dot Zoo, I think it was.
Yeah, we got Reg done, didn't we?
Yeah, we got.
I'm not going to try and say the full name. And we got
Relations Explorium.
That's it. Thank you. We got that done, and we got the
O Group 1941, didn't we?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's another army I'm supposed to be doing. Oh, just reminded me of that.
Bob's asked, what halflings are they? I think you may have missed the box that you showed earlier.
Oh, hold on. Let me just grab the sleeve. I bought the halflings from TT Combat. There we go. I bought the sand ones. I'll show you the back because there's a better picture on the back. You got camel riders there. You got a chap there on a flying carpet, wizard just there. Then you got these cactus constructs, chap in the middle. I think they are bow. I think the bowman there. A couple of rocket launchers. Yeah. 100 quid, by the way, if you want to know. That's £100 that cost. You get 60 infantry, a chariot, 3 cactus things, a couple of rocket launchers, and 10 cavalry, and then 3 individual figures. Not bad. They're not, but you can't get them from TT Combat anymore. You have to go to Max Mini. Because that's how I discovered them basically. So I went on, I knew they did them, and I went on their site, and it was like completely blank. And then I made some inquiries, and I found them. They'd gone to Max Mini, and we now stock them in Lost Ark Games. That helps you. We do a good range.
Is all my hospital treatment finished? No. Sadly not. We're waiting on a surgery for a hernia for whenever that will arrive, and my shoulders have sort of settled down a bit, so I'm hoping to that they'll settle down a little bit more. So that's good. But I've got to go get my eyes tested and have the left one checked out again, I think, because it's just a little bit of a problem. I'm still getting flashing white lights to the side in the dark, which is annoying. Which should have settled down really, but not just yet. I am liking this Zero Rosemary and Co. I'm using it to do the faces, and it's done quite nicely so far. Even though it's hard to see what I'm painting.
No, I'm trying not to stick my hands to this piece of wood.
Yeah.
As I super glue all the wheels on.
Oh, onto the chariots.
No, I super glue the wheels to a painting stick.
Yep.
Works quite well. Just a dab of super glue and it just holds them on there. They come off very easy.
All right. I tend to find if I do a dab of super glue on something, I can't actually shift it.
No, I find it not too bad.
Well,
I just use a sharp knife on it.
Right, because I tend to use the thick Gorilla super glue.
Right, I use a Zap that we sell in the shop.
And the thick Gorilla super glue holds quite hard. But, right, it sounds like the family are getting ready for bed.
Well, it is.
So, the dogs haven't started barking yet, which they normally do.
So, are we going to do this on a regular basis, Ken?
That's age, Ken. Yeah. Yeah. It is age.
Ken.
It is like regular basis.
What are we going to do it on a regular basis?
We couldn't we? Every 2 weeks. Do we think?
Well, we've managed to fill tonight up. We've managed to do an hour and a half tonight. So yeah.
Yeah, we could. We could do that. I could work out how to post pictures as well, hopefully, so that we could put up pictures of what's been painted rather than mess around with the camera angles. So I might do that as my project for the next time. So we could perhaps do it again in 2 weeks' time. Every Friday.
What day is that? What day is that?
A Friday.
Yeah, I know. What date is it? Come on, someone. What date is it? 2 weeks' time.
Well, it's the 20th today. It will be the no.
It will be the 3rd.
7 watching the 7 lights. Well, look at that. There's a 7 samurai and the magnificent 7. 7's a good number.
Ken, it would be the 3rd. Now, have we got to go to the museum on the 3rd and set the tables up?
We have.
So we might not be able to do it that night.
That is true. Yeah. So we could say if we say the next one be the 10th, then wouldn't it?
Yeah, we do the 10th. We do it 3 weeks, because then we can also report on and maybe have some pictures from the Saturday.
We could, couldn't we? Yeah. So we could say the 10th, couldn't we?
10th. Do the next one. Then we try and do it every couple of weeks.
Yeah, sounds good, and we might even be able to get some progress, as I say, on working out how to put pictures up, and we could even put other people's pictures up as well.
And we might have somebody's army finished by then.
Have an army finished. I've got to do a showcase of the Spanish Wars of Succession 15mm, and I've got to do a showcase of the Templars, which is done. So I've got all that to do, but I'm probably going to have to come down to the shop to do that.
Well, I was also
live stream of us setting up the tables. There might be a bit of swearing.
Yeah, we might have to bleep a few things out there.
Might have to bleep a few things out, yeah. Have to drop it on our toes. Yeah.
I'll tell you what, Ken, maybe you could do some of my armies as well.
Yes.
Let people see my armies.
We could do that.
If they'd like to see my armies, of course.
Yeah, I'm sure they would, because they are good.
If you're coming down the store.
Yeah. I'll work out some dates for that.
Yeah.
And let you know, so that gives you an idea.
I can get a table all set up so you got the terrain and everything on the table to make it look a bit better and that.
Yes. Well, okay then. Thank you very much, everyone, for watching. And
cheers, guys.
We may catch you on the 3rd if we put some up pictures of us doing bits and pieces. But other than that, we'll work towards the 10th and run it from there. So, okay, thank you very much, people. And
thank you.
Good night and take care.
Cheers.